Hey guys, it's SickMotion here with a quick little video just to give you some tips and tricks on how to get little early advantages in top lane. Most of these are aimed at even pre-level 2, so just really early game things to help you get an advantage. The first thing that I'll be showing you guys is it's done by quite a few people, but some people don't think about this. We'll start by saying the shopkeeper. You can notice here, I'm not anywhere near the spawn pad. You can see how far I'm beside this goat thing right here. If I was buying a longsword, I could buy, but I can buy right here is the important part. A lot of people don't realize how far out you can actually buy because it's nothing to do with the actual proximity to the spawn pad, it's your proximity to the shopkeeper. So you can buy from right there. It helps you if your team is fighting up here. You're not healing right there, you still have to be on the spawn pad to heal. But just to show you an example, you come down here, I'm a little bit off the spawn pad, I can't buy. Walk over to the spawn pad, I can still not buy because I'm not close enough to the shopkeeper, so you have to walk up to him and start buying. So you can wait here. It goes hand in hand with the tip I'm going to give out first here. Let's see. So see here, I have 30 gold left over, but a potion's 35. Say I want to get this potion. This is a bit of a less extreme example. I can sit here, wait out, the minions spawn, the money starts spawning. So now I have the extra money to get that potion. I'm walking up with my minion wave, so I'm not going to get to lane any later. There's a few things I might not be able to do, like being in lane first to try and cheese them in a bush or something early, but I get an extra buy. Some common uses for this extra buy, obviously not the cloth 5 pot because that uses your money perfectly, but say I want to go with a flask 3 pot start, you can wait out an extra 10 gold to get your 4th pot. You can start with boots 4 pot and wait out 25 gold, but with that extra movement speed from the boots, you'll be able to get to lane in time and then have your 5th health potion. Okay, so here's another tip. This one's a little more risky and only works on a certain few characters, and it's a lot more effective if you have a teleport. But say I'm top lane here, I know that the jungler is going to be starting in their bottom jungle, because that's where most junglers will start currently with help from their bottom lane. They have 2 extra people to help them with the buff, whereas if they started here, some junglers will, if it's part of their strategy or they're switching up their gameplay for it, start at the top buff. But if they don't, and the enemy top laner hasn't either warded or is watching this, you can actually sneak in here. Some common places to ward are right there. Their mid lane might sit right here. The quickest, not necessarily the quickest, but the safest way is to sneak through the tri-bush. Sometimes you can walk around here, walk all the way over to here, make a journey out of it, sit in this bush, and then you're still always at a risk of getting hit by a ward. So you got to keep in mind this can completely backfire and blow up in your face. But with Mundo, it's a really good example that you can use him here. So you just wait in the bush. I don't have a smite or anything, but I can pull the buff over. Would have been more optimal if I hit that. You want to start using your potion right away. You can start to pull it back. Now the minions are in there, so they don't know. Say there's actually other people in this game. I can be warding right there. You got to get creative sometimes. You see that this is getting really close. I can start walking back with the buff. So if it was if I did it better and I wasn't focusing on talking, I could have got another small minion there, even gotten the timer on the camp by getting both minions. I could have gotten level 2 from it, but I still have a ton of experience from that. I'm really close to 2. Now I can go back because I have a teleport. Make sure you teleport to your tower because it'll save you a minute on the cooldown. But now I'm back top lane. I've missed minions in lane. The enemy laner is probably level 2 right now, had this have been an actual game. But even though I didn't get level 2 off the buff, 1 minion gets me level 2. And now I'm in lane with a red buff, so I have the red buff advantage. The experience should be relatively close based on the minions that you've missed to get that. But you've helped out everyone on your team because now their jungler doesn't have a red buff. So he's going to be behind in experience, and some junglers are extremely reliant on their red buff and a lot more successful if they have the red buff, slow and extra damage on their gank. So you've made the world a safer place. It's just another quick tip. Keep in mind that's reliant on the character you're playing. You're not going to walk up there with Rise and solo the red buff. You will die. People will laugh at you, and then you'll be really behind. That'll be one of those backfiring moments, but nothing the enemy team did right, just the fact that you sucked it up. Other champions that can do that, Tryndamere can get the early red quite easily. Depending on what champion you play and you think you might be able to get away with it, I would suggest trying it in a custom game first and making sure you're able to, for one, just be able to kill the buff 1v1 without any interference. Just be able to get the buff killed, because even if you don't get caught or die and you go there and waste a lot of time and then don't get the buff, you're still missing that experience in lane, so you're going to be at a big handicap. But if you can make it work, it's a really good advantage for you and your team. Alright, another tip. This one's very common in aggressive top laners. I selected Riven just to show you, because a level 2 all-in with Riven, a level 1 all-in with Riven is pretty strong. A level 2 all-in is very strong as well if you get your stun. Pushing for level 2 early. There's a few ways, or a few things you want to keep in mind while doing this. 7 minions is going to get you a level. So these 6 minions here, I won't be able to kill them and get a level, but 7 I will. If you push the lane too quickly, a lot of times you'll be in a struggle with the enemy top laner to try and kill the minions as quick as possible. If you kill them way too quickly, if you're someone who has a lot of AoE potential, you'll get level 2 first.
Choose your own path.
But like even right here, I pushed it a little quicker than I would have wanted to. I'll get level 2, but won't be able to deny them any experience or anything while they're still level 1 because they're so close and safe to their tower. So pushing for level 2, once you have the experience lead, a good top laner will realize that, and they'll realize that you're trying to push for that level 2 all-in and try and back off. One thing to note here is notice how I pushed the minion wave really quickly right at the end, because it was going to stay right in front of their tower. If you get the minion wave up to the tower by about 255, that's when their next minion wave, or their third minion wave, is going to be coming.
Spirit is not
now
lost.
I made sure that it didn't freeze on his tower at an awkward point where I would have to going into tower range to get the minion. So if you end up pushing too hard, that's kind of a fail-safe that you can get that working in your favor at the very least. But pushing for that early level 2 is really important if you want to have lane control. If you're pushing, you got to keep in mind the jungler might be coming to gank you. But once you get that early level 2, if they're not respecting the fact that you have the experience advantage, that's when you get level 2 and then you all in them, and they're still level 1. So they have lower health, lower armor, lower base stats in general, and they only have one skill. So you might be able to kill them, you might be able to blow their flash or summoners, and at the very least you'll get a lot of damage on top of them. And they're going to be in a lot of trouble from that, and you might be able to win the lane and snowball just from that one advantage by pushing level 2 early. Alright, and here's another tip. This one is waiting to catch someone walking on the way to lane. Right now you can see I'm watching my jungler's red buff just to make sure that he's not getting it stolen or anything, because they have a Nunu. But a lot of the times, depending on where you are on top lane, if you're top side, purple side, then their jungler might also be watching their blue buff here, or if their jungler starts their blue buff, that they might be doing it. The quickest way for them to get to lane is to walk up through river. So if you wait in this bush right here, lots of the times you'll be able to catch them away from their tower, away from their minions, and do a lot of damage to them, or maybe blow a flash if they have to flash over that wall. Very rarely will you get a kill out of this unless they really misplay it. And you got to keep in mind that your champion's going to have to fight them 1v1 without minions. So you want to make sure, for one, that your champion's stronger, or else you're going to be isolating the 1v1 fight in their favor, and you're going to be helping them out. But if you blow their flash, that's an advantage to you. If you even get them low because you win the fight, or you deter them from getting to lane, you beat them a few times, they run down the river, just leave them, walk up to lane, and now you're going to be in experience range while they're not. They're going to be afraid to walk back up through there since you've already did some damage to them, and you're probably stronger than them if that was your strategy. And they're going to be in trouble in lane. You've gotten yourself an early advantage. If you're on the side that Rumble is here, you're on the blue side playing from the bottom, and you think you're stronger, you can sometimes wait in the tri-bush. A lot of the times the jungler will be watching, like I'm watching the red buff right now. Could be waiting in the tri-bush, and we could get in a fight right there. What it does is, for one, like I said, it gets you a fight off the minions away from the tower. It's a 1v1 most likely, because at this point, right as the minions are about to get into lane, everyone's at their lanes, the jungler's doing the jungle, so it's just you and them. And if you're posturing in front of them, they're going to have a hard time unless they flash, which gives you an advantage anyway, to get back to their tower. They're going to lose health, and then if you chase them away, then they lose a lot of experience and everything, and they're just going to have a bad time in lane. So let's get this rolling. I'm done watching this. I'm not worried if Rumble's doing that, because I'll just fight him in the bush. I'm completely fine with that. He's not there, so I walk over. I don't know. I think that Nunu might be starting at blue, because he might be doing blue right to Shaco's red, but I wait here, and then we see that Rumble starts coming up. So I let him walk into the bush so I don't scare him away right away, and I get a bunch of good damage on him. I don't have the most damage here, and he has a door and shield, so he's tanky. I'm minion block him right here, but there's half of his health gone, and I had to blow his potion already, so that's a big advantage to me. So that's just another way you can gain a little early advantage. You can see no one's even level 2 yet. We weren't even in lane. A minion hadn't even taken damage yet, and I've already swung the lane in my favor. Thanks for watching the quick little tips video here with the early advantages, guys. If you want to check out more videos, I have more tutorial videos like this on my YouTube channel, as well as just fun clips from my stream. I do stream full time, so if you guys want to check that out as well, there's links to the stream in the description. But other than that, thank you for watching, guys. I hope it helped, and we'll see you next time.